Well, changing subjects here just a little bit. It sounds strange, but could your kid be sacrificing their education to avoid being called a nerd?
The truth is, intellectual peer pressure is a silent epidemic. Entire generations of kids are dumbing down intentionally in order to be socially accepted.
And joining us now is author Dom Testa, and he's also the founder of the Big Brain Club, here to tell us all about this. Hey, you're also a radio personality.
That's correct. I do the Dom and Jane show on Mix 100.
Well, we're glad to have you here
That's
today.
great to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to jump right in because we often hear about peer pressure related to sex, drugs, alcohol, things like that. But is there really something to intellectual peer pressure?
Yeah, you'd be surprised at the number of young people who even unconsciously kind of reject education because of this peer pressure that they don't want to be labeled a nerd or a dork or a geek. There's such a negative connotation with it that kids are more concerned about fitting in and being considered cool. And so my mission is pretty simple. I try to tell kids you don't have to choose. You can be cool and use your brain, because that's what's going to pay off for you in the long run.
Yeah, smart is cool.
Smart is cool.
Yeah, it's sexy, actually.
That's right.
There you go. Now, over the years, you've developed really a passion to help kids tap into their creative ability. How did all that come about?
Well, it started with me just visiting schools almost 20 years ago in helping kids with reading. And then I branched off into writing assemblies and writing workshops because of the writing that I do. But I started noticing more and more of this problem with kids not taking their education seriously. They're more concerned with either being hot or being a jock or being something other than an academic excellence major. So I went after that on my own, and I started talking with kids about it. It became part of my assemblies, it became part of my workshops. And the next thing I knew, I had huge response from educators and from parents as well as the kids. And so I founded the Big Brain Club, which kind of helps kids become the best version of themselves. It's not about being a straight A student. It's not about making the honor roll, although if you do, fantastic. But we try to help kids become the best version of themselves that they can be and prepare for their future, not sacrifice the future, as you put it a few minutes ago, for the sake of just 3 or 4 years of fitting in and being considered cool.
Wow.
Now, you started the Big Brain Club in 2004 as a website for kids who wanted to learn more about writing. So tell us how that has evolved and what the message is today.
Well, originally I did work primarily in terms of writing and creative writing especially. But we've kind of branched out a little bit more. Some of the work that we do with schools now includes helping them purchase equipment. For instance, smart boards, which are incredible devices that they can use in classrooms. And then we also publish the creative writing of students. We just launched a pilot program last week up in Fort Collins where and look, Jackie has the book, it's perfect.
The book.
88 students in Fort Collins at Preston Middle School became published authors. There's short stories in this book, poetry, essays, and I have to tell you, for middle school students, the writing is off the charts. It is terrific. And so this is a celebration of creativity in students.
There we go.
Now, that passion has turned into a full-fledged 501c3 nonprofit organization with an ambitious plan to help as many students as possible. Tell us about that.
Well, we started relatively small. In fact, we started here in some local, with some local schools. My guess is that, in fact, there will be an Aurora school very soon that will be participating in this particular creative writing project. But we intend to expand beyond the borders of Colorado as well. We just have a lot of programs going on in Colorado and a lot of nice partnerships too. On April 2nd, it will be Big Brain Club night at the Colorado Mammoth.
Neat.
So everybody who attends the Colorado Mammoth game will be able to get involved as well. We'll have Big Brain Club t-shirts and more.
You know, we have a lot of smart kids in Aurora.
Yes, we do.
I know you know that, but I know that also teachers and parents are working tirelessly to give the kids the tools they need to pursue to be academically successful and everything else. But is there something more that parents and educators could be doing to kind of get that message across that smart is cool?
Well, for one thing, kids pay attention to what goes on in the home. And too many times you'll see adults who will wear as a badge almost the fact that they don't read. Oh, I haven't read a book since 5th grade. And they don't say it out of shame. They say it almost as if they're proud of it. So I try to alert parents, be careful with what you're saying, because that's not going to serve your kids at all. The example that parents can play in the home with regards to literacy or education, it's crucial. Not only that, but talking to kids about preparing for their future. Because kids generally, by nature, cannot see more than 5 minutes down the road.
Right.
Their entire universe is right now. And trying to get them aware of how what they do today in the classroom affects them for the rest of their lives, it's an important message that kids need to pick up on right away.
Sure is. Well, I know you teased off camera that you might be coming to Aurora for the next pilot program or next
We
phase
are
of that,
talking to
so
a school in Aurora right now, and it could very well be part of our next program.
fantastic.
We're excited.
Dom Testa, thank you so much for joining us
thank
today.
you.
Great information. Well, you don't have to choose between being cool and using your brain. There are a number of great resources for students, parents, and teachers online at bigbrainclub.com. You can also learn about the Big Brain Foundation there.